69th session of the Queen's University of Belfast Literific Society! Very good. Thank you all so much for being here. It is quite pleasant to see that the outside is not covered in the snowy landscapes of last week. That was rather dreadful. But yes, so this evening is a special event indeed. That's fantastic. Mr. McDonald is dressed very appropriately. And this evening's event is this house would rather be in Slytherin. And I think we know which side of the motion Mr. McDonald will be coming down on. There we go, Mr. Secretary improves. So yes, to kick us off, just a few announcements. First of all, need to skip that. So yesterday we had a somewhat shall we say, complicated trip to the University of Ulster Coleraine. I enjoyed the bit with them. It went very well, regardless of what anyone else will tell you. The secret inside scoop is that what actually happened was that everybody else left earlier than they should. I left on time. It was ridiculous. I can't believe they did it. And then the trains were conspiring against me, which is dreadful. I'm sure someone will want to bring up in PMBs, much to my distaste. But it went very well indeed, and as I have been well and truly informed, at the very least, the Secretary of Ulster University, is that mic the wrong way around? And then, there we go, a bit better. Yes, the Secretary of the Ulster University Coleraine Literific Society does indeed listen to our recordings. So to Miss Johnson and to all the rest of the University Coleraine Literific Society folks, thank you very much for having us. It was very much appreciated. Apologies for my tardiness. And can we get a round of applause for the lovely folks in the UK? I promise not to make any more questionable jokes whilst the microphone is on. Good folks at you here. So, yes. Otherwise, I need to remind you again that the conversazione of the 169th session draws ever nearer. It is 2 weeks from this Tuesday, so 12 days from now, on the 20th. As ever, you've all had the details by now, Ulster Reform Club, yada yada yada. For members, the prices are £25 for the vegetarian option, £30 for the non-vegetarian option. That includes tea and coffee at the end, of course, free courses. If you haven't yet done the sign-up form, I will probably be messaging you over the weekend just to try and get you to do so. But the URL again is conversazione, so that's conversazione, 2018, in numbers.literific.com. Yes, you need to fill it out. And as some of you will have seen from Mr. McDonald's post, you can pay him tonight if you have already signed up. You can also pay me tonight, or you can pay me through PayPal or bank transfer, I'm sure. Do you have PayPal?
Probably both.
Probably. Bank transfer at the very least. Yeah, at the very least you can pay Mr. McDonald through bank transfer. Details for that will be going up, and again, I'll be messaging people who already signed up at the weekend to try and get you paid. Otherwise, so the AGM is a mere, 5 days away, and the list of nominees have been released. To briefly inform those who may not have seen it online, for the position of President of the Society, we have standing Mr. Hugh Dobbin. He faces stiff competition from that most popular of candidates, Ron, who shall be victorious, only time will tell. Otherwise, we have standing for the position of Secretary, Mr. Matthew Bradley. Once again, facing off against Ron. I don't think it's technically allowed that people can stand for more than one position, but Ron's just a lovely fellow, we let him away with it. Standing for the position of Treasurer, we have Mr. Shea Glasgow. Of internal convener, he does not appear to be here at the moment, but we have our current internal convener, Mr. Matthew Bryson. Applause and spirit. For the position of external, we finally have an actually contested position. We have Mr. Evan Doherty and Miss Tara Grace Connolly. For the position of outreach, we have Miss Chloe Ferguson at the back there. Technology officer, that is not elected, it is appointed, and so that will be revealed in due course. For the position of is trading next on the list? I always get confused because of the lack of reps. For the position of trading officer, we have standing Mr. Russell Nairn. No? Russell? There he is. Mr. Russell Nairn. That's all right. Technically speaking, Mr. Nairn is not in the room, but that will be explained later, I'm sure. And finally, for the position of social officer, social is a tad complicated because we have a number of people standing for it as their primary, but also in our elections you can have one position as a secondary or backup role, and so those standing for it as their secondaries, and I'll applaud for them, there, they got applause, are Mr. Chloe Ferguson and Mr. Evan Doherty. I don't believe anybody else is standing for it as secondary. Can you think of now? Standing for it as their primary is Mr. Jack Patton, who I believe isn't here, but also Mr. Ted Pine. The election is due to take place in 5 days on Tuesday the 13th. It is taking place in the Society's ancestral home of the McMorty Hall, which is in the Music Building, which is just behind the Law Building. So please do come along to that. It is open only to members, and again, only members can vote and other things that will be happening. Also taking place at the AGM, it's more than just elections. There will also be discussion of and voting on amendments to the Constitution. Those can be found online on our website. I can't remember it. I think the URL is literific.org/events/annual-general-meeting. So we'll be voting on amendments. There will be reports from the current Society Council. There will also be the awarding of honorary life memberships. So yes, it is quite evening. Hopefully it will be longer than last year. For those of you who don't know, last year's AGM, I believe, was the longest on record. Our guest chair will be able to confirm that. It was 5 hours long, and we all wanted to die by the end of it, more so than we usually do, which is really quite saying something. But yes, it will be shorter this year, so please do come on. Almost there now. As you will have noticed on each of the chairs, there is the order paper as is customary these days, but also a copy of the Queen University Belfast student newspaper, The Gown. The Gown is back in print, thanks in no small part, and indeed in a large part due to the help of this fine society. And it is the first time they are back in print since September 2016. So I think a small round of applause for them for their congrats to them. Please do support your student newspaper. They are good friends of us, and they let us use their office. So let's be nice to them. Not going to make that announcement, I suppose. So just 2 to go. Very quick one. We are amassing a small collection of scarves in the gown office that have been left behind after the bits. If you have lost a scarf over the past couple of weeks, please do send me the end, because at this point, I'm just going to sell them. And the final announcement is kind of a doodle announcement. So I was going to do this later, but it ties into point actually. This is our second Literific Classics debate. So for those of you who don't recall, the idea behind Literific Classics is that we take a debate that was, or take a motion that was debated 5 years ago and do it again, and attempt to invite back any of the people who spoke at it, and try and connect a bit more with the history of old. And the 164th day debate of the motion, this house would rather be Gryffindor. We thought we'd put a slight twist on it this time. And it is for that reason that we invited the guest chair this evening, Madam Guest Chair, President Emeritus, Pouryahya, honorary election member. Madam President Emeritus Superfly was the president of the 166th session. Pardon?
Or the second half.
Yes, we don't talk about that. It's hardly a unique concern for all of it. Madam Guest Chair, would you mind joining me at the front for just a moment? Madam Guest Chair was also the Secretary the year before, and was beloved by all. So, it's also a fun fact, as some of you are probably aware, I am an honorary left member. I received my honorary left membership during the reign of Pouryahya, and her name is indeed inscribed in the back of my card. It is custom for the president of 1 year to be awarded an honorary left membership the year after by their, technically by that point, outgoing successor. And we also had new honorary left membership cards made. So I'd like to present you with your honorary left membership card. There you go. Right there, but wait, there's more. For unbeknownst to Miss Pouryahya, as I have kept it quite secret from her, but beknownst to some of you, the Society has acquired a truly magnificent piece of merchandise. And the idea behind this piece of merchandise is that it will be awarded, or gifted rather, I suppose, to any person who gives up their time to act as a guest share for the evening. And ordinarily, of course, it would be done at the end. But seeing as how we get to announce them, I think it would be quite good to do it now so that I can also tell you that they're on sale. So, preemptively, President Emeritus Pouryahya, I would like to thank you for your work here tonight, and I'd like to present you with a thank you gift of one society pin. So, there you go. Show it to us.
It's so pretty.
There you go.
Why did you give it to me?
So yes, after many months of trying, the Society has finally managed to acquire these delightful metal and enamel pins of the Society crest. I shall give one out to be passed around so that you can get a closer look at it. They cost a mere £4. I do hope at least a few of you would like to purchase one. They are truly quite magnificent in my opinion, and they will of course be in support of the Society. So I do hope the £4 is not too much to ask. It's a lovely piece of merchandise. Indeed, the person is Madam Guest Chair, if you'd like to take your seat. Again, we shall now move on to the reading of the minutes of the 20th Ordinary Meeting, and as minutes were taken last week by Technology Officer Mr. Matthew Bradley, they shall be read by him. So to read the minutes of what was the meeting again last week? It wasn't.
It was the
Soviet Union. So to read the minutes of the 20th Ordinary Meeting, this House would invade the Soviet Union, 1945. I would bid you all to give a warm welcome to Mr. Secretary himself, Matthew Bradley.
You want to hear some minutes?
Yeah!
You want to hear some minutes?
Yeah!
All about it. Okay, right, just getting this set up. My motto is go big or go home. I'm going big. March 2018 and was attended by 34 members who trickled into the cemetery, cold and weary from the Russian winter raging outside. Private members' business was heard from Mr. Hugh Dobbin, who extended a motion of birthday congratulations to Mr. Loiva. This isn't the right music for birthday congratulations. We're not going to do have a happy USSR birthday today. Birthday congratulations to Miss Chloe Ferguson, which of course passed. So yeah, congratulations on surviving another year. Former SU President Captain Kieran Gallagher HLM then proposed a motion to the House. This would no, I don't want a message now. I'm not going to get passive aggressive from all these people. Anyway, this House would not wait until the summer to pull the Union down. And after a wonderfully entertaining round of revolutionary Union slagging, Mr. Russell Mayer implored the House to forego debate like this any further and join him in demolishing the foul institution. Mr. Mayer then charged out of the room, followed by many modern revolutionaries to lead the destruction, including our president, leaving me feeling very lonely sitting. I felt like I was behind a pop-up hour going nice. I didn't want to say anything. Mr. Jack Patten then proposed, by the way, the previous motion, a vote then taken, which passed, because of course it did. Mr. Jack Patten then proposed a motion of support to Orange Order Grandmaster Mr. Spencer Beattie for attending same-sex marriage with his daughter. After a discussion of whether in fact this is commendable, a vote was taken which read 13 ayes, 1 against and 16 abstentions. President Black then proposed a motion of commiserations to Ms. Cadrafty and Ms. Maria McQuillan, who were unfortunately unsuccessful in their SU election bids, marked with a rousing chorus of "For she's a jolly good fellow." President's questions were heard from Mr. Finbar Rogers, who asked if Calvin knew the lyrics to Men Behind the Wire, which I can only presume is a song celebrating the hit TV show The Wire, starring I've got many Irish friends as well. Mr. Robert Clark and Mr. Edmund Doherty then continuing this trend of asking the President if he knew songs, asked if he knew the songs Rasputin back in the USSR. The President acknowledged their existence. Mr. Briggs calmly asked the President which Kardashian would like to see become President of the SU. His response was characteristically bemused. There were other Kardashian questions as well, and the responses were similar. What an in-joke that is. As is is customary, a vote of prior opinion was taken on the Knight's motion. This House would invade the Soviet Union in 1945, which read 3 ayes, 18 against, and 7 abstentions. So that's some numbers. Opening for the proposition was Mr. Literific, who highlighted Russia's cruelty to countries such as Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania during the Second World War, centering his argument around the ethics of war. He clarified that Soviet Russia should have been stopped preemptively due to its malice and the problematic nature of communism. Mr. Literific then asked for questions in which he highlighted Russia's penchant for war crimes and the need to replace its communism with a more democratic state. Beverage needed. You can wait. There we go. Opening for the opposition in his maiden speech was Mr. Chris Hubble. He declared it foolish to invade the Soviet Union in 1945 and refuted the claim of the USS's military superiority, as one of their nukes would have taken the 10th of Moscow, which apparently was not enough to be effective. He stated that atrocities are commonplace in war and not specific to Russia, and that the demoralisation of UK and US armies after the Second World War would have made any invasion ineffective. Mr. Hubble highlighted how the US entering Japan for self-defence was very different to entering to spread its Western ideals. Mr. Hubble then ended his speech in remarkable fashion, stating that if you can have the blood of millions of people on your hands because of ego, then so be it. What a beautiful tongue. Continuing for the proposition was Matthew. I've been begging for this motion for over a year. Sullivan. He began by highlighting the binary of good and evil, freedom and totalitarianism, and what the USSR were instrumental in Hitler's defeat, they did it for themselves. Mr. Sullivan stated that Russia would attempt to force authoritarianism upon Europe, and that a strike would be needed before Russia could become self-sufficient. Mr. Sullivan defended America's military strength, and that strategically, Russia would be fighting a war on France. He then concluded by imploring the House to stop the tide of communism before it infects the rest of Europe. Speaking second for the opposition was Maiden Speaker Mr. Con McCluskey, who highlighted the ability of Stalin's spies to preempt any attempt of invasion. He declared that the Allies would be outnumbered and that a successful invasion was unfeasible. Mr. McCluskey demonstrated hesitance to continue the cycle of death in the Second World War. He then recited Laurence Olivier's opening narration from The World of War, highlighting the human cost of potential invasion. Third for the proposition was Mr. Finbar Rogers, who began with an imitation of who I initially thought to be Alfred Lord Tennyson, but it turned out to be Winston Churchill. Same difference, really. One glorified warfare and is heralded as a national hero, the other's Winston Churchill. Mr. Rogers then listed a load of places in Europe, which for some reason included Islington, Uxbridge and Bangor. Yeah! Oh, Finn. Mr. Rogers declared communism, tin pot communism with machine gun decor, and highlighted the need to repel the impending Russian invasion with the culture and philosophy the West could bring. Ulster was brought up, and so was the phrase glucose-sucking whores, and Mr. Rogers concluded with the phrase communism. It's a bit much. Third for the opposition was another main speaker, Mr. Michael McConaughey. He rebutted the view that the Allies had greater firepower, informing the House that 2/3 of German aircraft production was in USSR control. He declared Operation unfeasible, and the lack of plans to retrain troops was a key failing of the plan and would lead to defeat. Mr. McConaughey concluded his speech by questioning the proposition's ability to invade the Soviet Union, especially considering it's only a matter of time before newspapers discover Russian meddling in Mr. Calvin Black's election. My question is, which one? Concluding the proposition was Mr. Hugh Dobbin.
All of them.
Concluding the proposition was Mr. Hugh Dobbin. He centred his argument on 2 key points. Does the Soviet Union need invaded, and what would the cost of such an invasion be? He declared that not enough has been made of Stalin. As a volatile figure, he labelled the man as a paranoid psychopath, and that in 1945 we had no idea he would die in 8 years' time. It wasn't time for him like that. He expressed frustration at the opposition creating a numbers game, and declared that the war would indeed bring stability. Mr. Dobbin declared that the Cold War was a war of hatred, and that an invasion of Russia would prevent that, and the mistrustful attitude of Russia towards the West. Concluding the case of the opposition, and indeed the debate, was Mr. Alderman Sparrow, who refuted the binary good and evil view of the world presented by Mr. Sullivan. He acknowledged Russia's bloodthirsty nature and proposed the 3 perspectives through which an invasion should be viewed: militarily, economically, and morally. He then continued the opposition's questioning of the West's military strength, proposing Russia's superior resources, despite the US's possession of useless nuclear bombs, which need to be brought to Russia. Mr. Sparrow then produced an image of a V-29 bomber to demonstrate Russia's factories were out of its range. This image was then passed around the room, and never has an image been passed around the Literific with such enthusiasm since the great Calvin Black Nude League of 2017. That was a risky one. Fines were issued to Mr. Alderman Sparrow for going significantly over time, and to Mr. Finbar Rogers for being a regular bully. Questions were from Mr. Edmund Dockley, Mr. James Beckett, Mr. Jack Patton, and Mr. Robert Clark. A vote was taken with around 11 ayes, 7 nays, and 11 abstentions, so ayes and abstentions were tied. May I take the minutes as read?
Aye. And now to conduct the rest of this evening's pre-debate stuff, it's our guest chair.
Yay! So, how are you all? Good? You all good? Nobody know who I am? That's okay. I don't even know who I am. Okay. I now have two phones, which is very confusing for me. Because I'm wait, this isn't even a phone.
Yeah. It's an iPod Touch.
I'm not going to touch it again because I have prone to breaking things. Anyway, hi, how are you? I'm Tara. Nice to meet you all.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Thanks. I can't remember what I have to do. Oh yeah. Okay. So private members' business is first, and I, for some reason, actually have private members' business, which is addressed to Vampire Stalin, who has not been president in many, many years, so I don't understand. But anyway, Finn, where are Finn?
I think backwards.
Finn. Would you like to bring up your private member business?
Seriously, now apparently the president reads bits that are sent in by email, so you must give a wonderful rendition of everything that he sent in. I know it really is not.
I'm sorry, but when did this start being a thing?
Sorry, you're the president now.
Yeah, I didn't pass this.
Guest chair.
This ain't how I did it in my time.
It's not your time anymore, I'm guest chair.
Doesn't matter. You are just borrowing this society from me. You're just technically a man.
Here.
And I have to read it.
You want to read it?
Okay, can I read the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, I feel like I've wasted like 20 minutes just being confused by this. Dear Mr. Vampire Stalin, as I have gathered from various states of panic, shock, and mental deadness, which had befallen both yourself and various others on the day which was yester, you have experienced coloring. I'm okay. Might I and various other honorary life members, Trustee Pouryahya, Eternal Leader Paul the Elizabeth the Fist Shannon. God damn it. Former Open Representative, when that was a thing, and current rum drinker and buggerer under Her Majesty's pleasure, Stephen Goss, and well-established gimp, Arturus Jonathan Finlay, express our most sincere condolences to you for being in Culraine. You can add my name to that. I'm so sorry you have to do that.
They're listening, I have no comment.
It's okay. I'll take all of the blame. I'm sorry you have to be in Culraine, listeners. It's okay. Man, this is long. No good-hearted Irish man or woman would not see it as a blight, an ominous lump upon Kathleen Lee Houlihan's otherwise supple and voluptuous innocence, Foire Arla, and thus would not object to it to be cut off from our Isle of Saints, scholars, gates, Gahan, and the bridge bar in Uri, and your woman with the legs, and thus condemn Satan's helltown to drift in the North Sea for 300 years, the Irish Sea for 300 years, and the Atlantic for 300 years. After such time, it shall be eaten by a goat which has itself been convicted of crimes against
You
humanity.
can probably skip over this.
No. You made me read it. Now you need to suffer through it. No good Christian of unsodomized morality, confession, or argue the sentiments above which I have expressed, above our commiserations, myself and themselves. P.S. Did you get your scarf back?
Yes, I did.
I don't really understand if I have something to put to the house right now.
It's been a while since I wrote that. I can't really remember what.
It sounds like the motion.
But giving up on.
And it doesn't say you sent it today.
I think that's probably addressed. Let's move on to more bits of private members, shall we?
That's fun. Anybody else a private member business? Yes.
Hello, so unfortunately this is going to be very confusing for you, considering you don't actually know what it normally sounds like. The scenario is essentially, Mr. Russellman couldn't be here tonight, we sent him in his place. And amongst all of those poor unfortunate individuals who were present in Coleraine, we have constructed the full story of what happened in dramatic fashion, and are wondering if you would give me the pleasure of reading it for the House.
Do it. Okay, well, I'll take it to the house first. Do you want to listen to this amazing? I mean, I actually haven't said it. I'll take that as pass. We'll just roll with it. It's fine. Would you like to come up here?
Oh, yes, thank you very much.
I'll just stand off really. You're standing up with me.
The fine folks of the Literific arrived at Belfast Central Station very early. We were provided by Miss Dobbin with very specific instructions as to the times, locations, and changeovers of our trains. These instructions were clear, concise, and easy to follow, featuring every possible detail short of a pie chart and feature film. Evidently they were needed. What Miss Dobbin could not account for was Mr. Matthew Sullivan's unyielding thirst for Lucozade. In a state of hangover so advanced, Mr. Sullivan described it as still drunk. He was informed that he was to speak at the UU debate in approximately 2 hours. After emitting a groan of dismay that one could only assume would moisten the loincloth of a Wookiee, Mr. Sullivan begrudgingly agreed to speak on the condition that he was provided with no less than 1 bottle of Centra's finest Lucozade. Mr. Calvin Black, in a gesture that firmly straddled the line between selflessness and foolishness, sped off to his quest. Alas, in his absence, Translink decided the worst possible time to actually stick to their schedule, and Mr. Black found himself stranded away from the group, bottle in hand. At the same time, in a feat of reading comprehension, Mr. Dobbin misread the train timetable and found himself arriving to an empty platform. Therefore, the Literific was now stranded across 3 separate Northern Irish train stations. Displaying the prowess of their English degrees, Miss Chloe Ferguson and Mr. Russell Nen were able to follow the instructions which were given them by Miss Dobbin. Their group arrived at the destination without incident. The same cannot be said for all parties. After what I assume was an epic quest, the President and President-to-be were reunited. However, when they were due to alight from their train, they missed their stop and found themselves on an unexpected day trip to the beach at The missing of this stop, according to Mr. Dobbin, was a result of Mr. Black's faffing about. Mr. Jake McRae, President of the UUC Debating Society, then engaged in a Scooby-Doo-esque chase scene in which he scoured the countryside looking for our lost Literific leaders. What followed were a series of miscommunications so bad that indigenous rural Irish tribes still dread to speak of them for fear of summoning the Dark One. When the debate finally happened, the Literific managed to win by an overwhelming majority. Despite the UUC secretary expressing concern for the well-being of Mr. Sullivan, who spent a substantial portion of the debate collapsed on the desk in a comatose state. Alongside Mr. John McDonald's continuous references to the Kardashians. However, we must congratulate Miss Dobbin on her acquisition of the Best Speaker Award. Some, but not all, there were a few notable casualties, of the delegation then went to Kelly's and got utterly gazeboed. The Literific has made the executive decision that from now on the Coleraine debaters must travel to us, for their campus is cursed. This is the word of the Lord.
Yeah, I wish I could say I'm surprised by any of that, but unfortunately some things never change. Basically, nothing at all. It's exactly the same as it was like 5 years ago. Okay, do you have any other private member business? No? Oh, yes, hello.
So can I just put a motion of condolence to the House? Some of you that were here last year would remember in the Law Stock debate last year, one of the speakers was Sasha Conlon. I have the sad news to bring that unfortunately she lost her father today. And I've just put a motion to condolence to the House that we send our condolence to the family of Miss Sasha Conlon at this time.
And everybody in favour of the motion?
Second.
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 Yes, second. And everybody in favour of the motion, would you like to say aye and raise your hands?
Aye.
Really unanimous? Did that then?
Any nays? Any abstentions?
I mean, everybody.
Procedure.
Yeah, but like when everybody raises their hand.
People not long enough for any of us to count, so.
Yeah, no, because see, this is because you're new. I'm sorry, but how old are you?
Same as you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So anyway, as a seasoned professional, I simply have to glance around and see that literally everybody has their hand up. I know, it's shocking, it's talent, what can I say? I'm a Anyway, can I close private matter business?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that, that's cool. Yeah, that's another one. To President's questions, so this is where you can ask me or anybody on the council a question. Oh, hands up already.
What?
Yes,
We did have a long talk after this last weekend's chair. You can't ask council questions. I distinctly remember, no, I distinctly remember Alan Kidd telling me not to do that.
Oh, see, no, yet again, that's because Adam bit
Was
Sam.
your superior Alan Kidd's chair? You're going to play the right.
But I'll have you know that I actually looked at the laws this morning and it does specifically
Mr.
say...
Sullivan, any thoughts on this matter?
I'm pretty sure she's right.
No! Well, on Tuesday.
I'm sorry, but if,
Just get out, but this
Aye.
guy can't be-
I'm sorry, Adam, but if you speak out of turn again, I'm going to have to fine you. So, now so you all know how to do it properly, let's have a proper meeting. So you can ask me, or the president, or anyone on the council a question. And I really, I recommend that you do it, just solve the rules. Right there. Okay. Yes, you go first. Hello.
In your extensive experience, which you have graced us with this evening, and in your opinion, which of the Kardashians does the current president most remind you of?
Oh I actually know like 5 things about the Kardashians.
Oh.
Yeah. There's more than one of them. But most importantly, okay, I know 2 things about the Kardashians. There's only like one dude, and he's rejected by everyone.
Sounds about right.
And also, I mean, as far as I know, Rob Kardashian, which I'm pretty sure is his name. Look at me, I'm so like good at this. Doesn't know anything about the Kardashians, but I hear you know nothing about the Kardashians, so I'm gonna have to go with Rob Kardashian and give you a proper answer. How do you like me now? That's fine. Yes.
Mr. President. Mr. President Emeritus.
I still.
Oh, I said this. Could each of you please enlighten the House? If you could be any pure-blooded noble family, such as, and you're not allowed to say black, which pure-blooded, wizarding noble family would you be?
It's a very important question, but I mean, you answer first.
I mean, it has been admittedly much too long since I have read the Potter series. So that's for me.
You get this wrong, I'll walk.
I was just going to go with the obvious answer, Malfoy.
No, I know.
Bit of a
I was
weird
asking a direct question. Yes, again, I don't really remember it. And he said I couldn't say black.
Weasleys are
Oh, that's right, the Weasleys are people. I'll go with the Weasleys. The Weasleys are.
really confusing situation right there to go from a Malfoy to a Weasley. But I mean, let's roll with it. It's fine. You don't. Okay, sure. Bit of a crisis of identity, but it's fine. It's okay. You're okay. We're all here. I, as a Gryffindor, I guess I have to go with the Potters as a pure blood family.
They're half-bloods.
They're only half-bloods, so we'll get Harry just then. And even then, he's like 3/4 bloods. You know, that's not going to.
Would you say that as Harry is a half-blood, he's not a true Potter?
He's not exactly a half-blood, but also that's not how it works. Because I would go, you're only like half your father's son. Bit of a weird area. All in all, I don't think I'm qualified to tell you about that. There's a lot more like discussion happening over this than I thought there'd be. Everybody calm down, it's okay, it's not that deep. Guys, calm down. God damn it, Bridget! What? Calm down!
I'm calm!
Silence. 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 God, it's like I'm talking to thin air.
What were you saying? Sorry.
And keep it calm. It's fine. Everything's okay. Moving on. Yes.
Yes, Madam President, Emeritus, Mr. President. In recent years, we've seen the Harry Potter books rise to great success and great popularity, and they have received great deals of praise across the world for their influence in getting young children to read. So my question to both of you is, what do you feel has had a greater influence on young people, Harry Potter or Kim Kardashian?
I kind of feel like you're trying to set me and Calvin up against each other when you directed at both of us. I mean, I could totally take him on, but weird about it. But you want to go ahead?
I'll have to ask you the background, Mary. What exactly do you mean by your people? You said your people, do you not, which is the greatest influence on your people?
Young
Right, right, this here.
Young
people.
Originally, my people shall rise up, President.
Yes. I mean, I'm just going to say the Harry Potter franchise. Maybe because I may be wrong here, but people of my age would have been children more around the time of the Potter books, whereas people of your age would have been children around the time of the Kardashians and their rise to popularity. So I think that's a stretch to me. Then again, from Pouryahya, for my case, it would be the Potter series.
Okay. Well, I mean, it depends on your definition of young people. For me, do you want to clarify?
I'm 400 years old.
See, I only have like proper experience, like 500 plus. And it really depends, you know, because in fairness, Harry Potter to me is life. As I'll briefly touch on later, because it's like nearly, it's 8 o'clock. It's not even nearly 8 o'clock, and we haven't started the bit. But anyway. Oh, stay with me. Just pretend you know what's going on. Come on. Y'all know we're all in this together. It's fine. Anyway, Harry Potter is very important to me, and a lot of people I think would agree Harry Potter is pretty important. They get you to read, open up a whole world, really extend your imagination. But like the Kardashians have contour and like lip kits. So like, which is more important? I don't know. I think that's just like a really difficult question, and like more philosophical than I can get into personally. It's just contour versus, you know, literature. I can't say. Anyway, any more questions? Yes, you go first.
Since we can ask questions to anyone on council, John? Would you still find the Literific as enjoyable if we hadn't introduced the Kardashian question?
The Literific has gone from like here,
Yeah.
like relatively it's up here, but like compared to the Kardashians, like right now, the gap has grown bigger. Amazing.
I mean, just to continue down the line I'm clearly going down, it was a lot better when I was president. I mean, I can totally pick up Kardashians as well. Nobody who was there say anything. It's like 3 of you. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Emeritus. Asking a more probing question, not much.
We'll get to that later.
For the wealth of knowledge that the President has, and for his predecessor, Mr. Benjamin Murphy, on the Constitution, I find it interesting that they forgot the bit of the Constitution that allowed Council to be asked questions, and I would say this points quite interestingly towards a bit of fame hunger. And a real nice case for being asked questions by the floor. I'm sure what would like to say.
underlying problem that people don't actually read the laws, Calvin?
He's reading it right now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's doing his essay.
You really concentrate on them, there's a lot there.
I don't need to read the laws. I write the laws. I am the law. See, that's how it is. Calm down, Palpatine.
Judge Dredd.
Yes?
You should have said I am.
Judge Dredd said I'm the law. Palpatine said I'm the Senate. I'm aware. Linkage.
Right! On that point of order, modern guest chair. Question time shall be a forum by which members of the society may ask the president anything. May ask the president anything relating either to the society or to any other matter which may be of interest to the society. Part 3 of Rule 6. Questions from the floor may only be directed to the President during question time. Any inquiries to other members of the Council or the Council in general ought to be submitted to the to private members' business. But closed Calvin, right?
I would like to thank Mr. Con O'Neill for his delightful winding up of the breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, I could respond, but I also don't really see the point. I'm still right. I remember the laws. I was secretary. There's no point arguing me. I also was there when we were discussing if council should be asked questions during question time, so I understand. You're fake fan. You're fake fan. Okay. Moving on, yet again. Any more questions? No? Oh, yes?
Yeah, well, more of a point, but you really have to admire the adherence which was given to the thing Paul Shannon wrote down while he was utterly pissed.
I know, right? It is pretty great. I mean, that's why most of it doesn't make sense, though, and that's why you have an amendment like every 2 minutes before the Constitution, and then it just gets more and more confusing. But alas, clearly, I hardly any of you have read it, so it's like, it's fine. It's fine. Just throwing shade all over. Feel my shade. Yeah. Just gonna keep continuing. Okay, I'm going to close President's questions now. Yeah, we all with that? Yeah, so just give it a general model. Yeah, okay. That's enough responses for me. Now it says to have the vote on prior opinion. Okay, so the motion is this house would rather be in Slytherin. So I'm assuming y'all know what that kind of means. We're gonna go with it. Cool. So everybody who agrees with the motion, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, you can put your hands down now. And everybody who disagrees with the motion, as you should, just saying, no bias. Just please raise your hands and say there.
Yes, I did vote right.
Okay, and if you don't actually have an opinion, just kind of like, sit there and have like this weird, like, I mean, that's not like an but it's close enough. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Okay. Okay, so that is divided lines.
Ask me to read that.
I mean,
you can read it.
yeah, we're literally communicating across the thing. Dude, what? Stop questioning me.
Go, Tara, go.
Okay, so the initial vote before the debate is 14 ayes, 15 nays, and 5 as abstentions. So the 5 of you, I'm not really sure what's going on. But okay.
Also, just a quick thing. Mr. Sparring here has a fine to present to the society.
Ooh.
So yes, go to us.
Okay, thank you for your very pretty. I don't know what to do with it.
Just bring it back there.
Drink it.
No, thank you, no.
What? I am not 17 anymore. been like, going on for like 5 hours. Let's just do it. It's okay. Don't worry. It'll be fine. It's an introductory address, which I have to give, and I totally prepared some things. Super knew about this, and totally not stalling to think about it. What are you doing? Opening the window? Yeah?
I guess if you just tell us about the last time was debate.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned this, because this debate is meant to be a classic debate, which # triggered. I'm not that old, okay? I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that old. Secondly, it was in fact my maiden speech. Back then it was, though this house would rather be in Gryffindor, which is far from emotion. Just saying. I totally understand what's going on. This is fine. Continuing on. But I have very, very little memory from that debate because I remember it dressed as Harry Potter, and I was wearing robes, and I was super drunk. And I cannot remember anything else from that at all. I know though that the debate was only made so that I would have my maiden speech, because back then, we were very pro forcing people into things they didn't want to do, and I didn't want to speak, so yeah, that worked out real well. Because then I was secretary and then I was president, and here I am, this is fun, it's great. Yeah.
Perhaps then, more in general, is there anything you can tell us about the 1/64th? Because no one, besides Finn and Christine in this room, were there. So just what was attendance like back then?
Attendance was quite low. There were probably less people than there are here today. And today is one of the slower days. But everybody got drunk a lot, so it felt like it was full. It was very encouraged to drink during the debate. There were some drinking games which really messed you up, because drinking every time somebody stalls will get you very, very drunk very, very quickly. Just not good. Yeah. Because of that, I think I also don't remember that much. I did know at once I got a motion passed to slap the president with a fish. Well, you see. But you see, that didn't actually end up happening. What did end up happening was I, yet again, one day quite drunk, said, hey, remember that time that I got that motion to slap you with a fish? And he went, yeah. And I was like, can I just slap you now? And he agreed. So I slapped him so hard that it actually ricocheted off of his cheek and hit my friend right in the face. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty much the same as this, right? I got it.
I mean, if you can't think of anything else, then may as well just kick off the debate.
Okay, cool. I feel like I've been here for 5 years. Wait, well, I have.
That's amazing.
Anyway, so we are actually going to start the debate at this. Oh God, it's 8:15, really, man? At 8:15, very early to start. So, as you know, the motion is this house would rather be in Slytherin. So, I would like to invite our first member for the proposition to come up, Mr. Sullivan, and we will come up, speak. Do you want to tell you? Hold your hand. It's okay.
Salazar Slytherin is a visionary. Born in a time when muggles were burning our kind at the stake, he foresaw a yet greater threat to our way of life. When he took part in the founding of Hogwarts, he made it his business to make his house the great bastion, protecting wizard kind from this greater threat. For Slytherin knew, my friends, of the dangers of impurity. The opposition tonight would have you believe that there is no downside to the disgusting practice of blood treachery. But make no mistake, this interbreeding is fast becoming the downfall of the wizarding world. Young houses would else kneel before the muggles. They, I will submit to them, consort with them, breed with their disgusting mankind, even as they seek to thank you. Even as they seek to wipe us out. Q.
What would you say to the fact that what you're currently saying sounds like it was directly transcribed from Voldemort's speech during the Deathly Hallows?
Don't you say his name, sir. As we all know, when a wizard breeds with a muggle, their blood is weakened, and so too is their magic. As my comrade, Mr. Beckett, of the noble house Beckett, shall touch on this pitch. They would have us dilute our blood with mud until we cease to exist. Until we have lost our magic. Yes.
I don't think the phrase mud blood literally means your veins are flowing with blood.
It's an old metaphor. Now, you might suggest that the Muggles, not really knowing the wizarding world today, could possibly be involved in some massive conspiracy to wipe out our kind through process of systematic injury to lose our existence. But that's because the Muggles are just puppets. It's the puppet masters. Do you know who the puppet masters is? The global conspiracy of international goblin bankers. The goblins hate us. You ever notice when you go into Gringotts, go to that, you have that on your mind? You ever look around? You ever notice how all of the workers in Gringotts are goblins? Coincidence? No, the goblins realize that if they are to achieve their plan of world domination, the wizards really are the only thing standing in their way. So what they can do is breeding us out of existence. Because when there's no more wizards, the goblins can take over.
On that point?
Sure.
Sounds a bit like Nigel Farage's Brexit speech.
I'm not terribly well versed in Mongol politics, but it sounds like he says stuff like this. It must be a good fellow. The goblins know they can't give us a fair fight, so they're going to breed us out until we're not here anymore. Look, Slytherin stands against this impending doom. Slytherin is a bastion.
On that point.
Sure.
By what methods are the goblins at Gringotts? In what way has Slytherin, by any policy or measures implemented, tried to stop the goblins at Gringotts from, through whatever mysterious means I'd like you to explain to me?
Cool, I'm glad you asked. Have you ever noticed how, right, so if you look at you can't see it now, obviously, because it's night time and we're inside, but if you're in that diagon alley one day, I really recommend you look up and you look at the trails that the brooms are leaving. Because modern day brooms, old brooms didn't leave these trails. Back in the days of Merlin and Slytherin, those were there. So where they come from? It's because goblins have infiltrated the broom making business. Muggles, sure, Lily.
Did you put Charles in your tinfoil hat at home?
I actually did, but I think the roof will generally stop the goblins from controlling the wire under. No. Slytherin is a bastion against this tide of mud and filth. It's a bulwark against the evils of the goblin conspiracy. Sure. Yeah. Guys, you might have been.
You wouldn't because I've never been here before. Regardless, so you're saying that the goblins are trying to wipe out Wizard Society by inbreeding with the so-called mudbloods. However, what proof is there that this so-called inbreeding is going to wipe out Wizard Society? Because, you know, we have wizards born from Muggle families and...
You're not wrong. Wizarding... Look, magic is genetic. But, you see what happens is, right, imagine this. Imagine you've got a really, really tasty port, right? A nice glass of port. Now, if you drink it, it's really strong, right? Because it's undiluted. But if you take some muddy water from the local stagnant ponds and you pour it in, it dilutes it and it gets weaker and weaker. It's the same with magic, you see. And that's why squibs exist. Yeah. Slytherin, this is the third time I'm going to try to get through this point. Slytherin is a bastion against this tide of modern filth. It's a bulwark against the loss of magic and against the evils of the Goblin Conspiracy. It's against the destruction of our society and the Goblin Conspiracy could wizard genocide through a systematic process of interbreeding and dilution. I urge you not to listen to the lies in the proposition today, here, my friends, because they are misguided. They have been brainwashed by the goblins. Stand not with their insidious conspiracy, but with honor, purity, freedom. Stand with stand with us against the tide of mud. Be bastions, as Slytherin did all those years ago. Thank you.
Thank you for defining the motion and opening the debate. And just a point, if you ever are looking for a muggle job, you could probably really make it as Trump's speechwriter. So continuing on, I would like to welcome Miss Maria McQuillan, who is president of the Sci-Fi and Fantasy Society.
If I were to respond to all of my issues with the previous speaker, I think I'd go as mad as he seemed in the last speech. This is a very personal issue for me. Okay. For too long, Slytherin has been represented as the worst in the Harry Potter universe, as criminals and cowards. Today I seek to end this injustice. As a representative of Ravenclaw, I want to say this. Ravenclaw has just as many criminals. Our recognition. This is not fair. According to the books and films, there's about 10 Ravenclaws total. So, we've done our part to add to the wizarding world's ludicrously high crime rate. And in case you're unaware, we too have a disproportionate high level of tomfoolery amongst our ranks. Quirrell, for example, was a Ravenclaw who almost helped Voldemort come back and lived his ultimate fantasy as a bald head. Lockhart, multiple cases of identity theft. And he got away with it. He's lost his memory, but he's having a great time. Marietta Edgecombe in the Order of the Phoenix snitches on Dumbledore's army. What does she get as her punishment? Snitch on her forehead in acting pickles. And the worst criminal of all in the entire series, Cho Chang, who wrote Harry's Heart. So I'm sure the House agrees with me. Slytherin doesn't deserve to have the super cool, misunderstood bad guy's reputation.
On the
I reject. Because my speech was very long. And before anyone points out to me the folly of revealing our numerous crimes as a house, I'd like to point out that A, it's fictional, and B, any sort of statute of limitations that there may have been on the crimes is well over. All jokes aside, real criminal genius would not advertise it. And that is why I would rather not be in Slytherin. Because realistically, Ravenclaw's a better house. We hide our crimes.
Point of information?
Sure.
Isn't it that just no one really cares about Ravenclaw?
All houses are important in their own way in the Harry Potter universe, representing different personalities, etc., etc. But do the other houses have Phileas Flitwick as their head of house? Do they? No.
On that point.
No. I do not have any questions. The other houses have a sentient knocker on the door to their house, which refuses them entry unless they solve the riddle. Just imagine that, you're 3 sheets to the wind, or very, very tired, and having to camp outside until someone really smart, or way more sober, comes along and solves it for you. It's like their step of shame.
On that point,
Sure.
would that not have meant that the Ravenclaws were underage drinking in Hogwarts, and would that not be
I mean,
very
there's a
tough?
lot we don't see in the dark side of Hogwarts. But yes, on a more serious note, Slytherin is not a house to be fully redeemed. Like I said before, every house in the universe of Harry Potter stands for something. Gryffindor values bravery, daring, nerve, and chivalry. Hufflepuff values hard work, dedication, patience, loyalty, and fair play. And Ravenclaw values intelligence, knowledge, and wit. And Slytherin values ambition, cunning, and resourcefulness. And these are all fine traits and something to be admired by every reader of the series, even though Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw don't really get represented very well. And all of the houses should be held in equal esteem. Harry is an unreliable narrator. You know that. So he obviously focuses on the house that he is allied with, Gryffindor, and has strong views on Slytherin, which he hates for many, many reasons. So as readers, it is understandable that we can be biased against it, or look past it if we're clever, and see each house as individually valuable and important. But it is important to note that along with this, every house has its detractors. Ravenclaw is no different. Like, Luna Lockwood in the series is bullied because she's different in the series. But no house had as many detractors. None of the other houses have as many detractors as Slytherin. Slytherin is a house with deeply held prejudices, and it's well documented in books and films. I know I'm getting very serious here. I know it's just a bit serious. But yeah. Beyond early reading by David Wall and Sally Noon talks about the universality of the discrimination in the series. They talk about 4 things that can lead to prejudice and discrimination within a society: ignorance, indifference, insecurity, and intolerance. On the surface, this theme is easy to explore and linked to today's society with its emphasis on inclusion. Thus, in multi-ethnic, multi-faith, and multicultural Britain, the separateness in the Potterverse is clear to all. At its most basic level, there is a split between the Wizarding world and Muggle world. Within the Wizarding world, there is a strong emphasis on blood status, as Aunt Marge says in Prisoner of Azkaban. It all comes down to blood, as I was saying the other day, and bad blood will out. Why did I do this? I did not number the pages. Thus, the purebloods represent the Wizarding aristocracy, and the half-bloods are then next in the pecking order. And it is interesting to note that each of the abandoned boys, Snape, Voldemort, and Harry, are half-bloods. And at the bottom of the social hierarchy, there are the Muggle-born witches and wizards, infamously referred to as mudbloods by the seemingly evil Draco Malfoy, and including the incomparable Hermione. Though what is clever about the series most is the way that J.K. Rowling portrays the notion of blood status and shows it for what it is, meaningless. Therefore, Rowling created this subset within society, exemplified by the Slytherins and the Death Eaters, to represent how a belief system can be based on a totally meaningless prejudice. Slytherin, with his exclusion of those who are not pure blood, based his house on baseless magical discrimination. The Wizarding world is prejudiced, and that is shown to the readers time and time again. Some of the central heroes of the book are mixed or part of mixed relationships. Harry's mother's Muggle-born, Hermione herself is Muggle-born, Hagrid is half-giant. By the end of the series, Harry, Hermione, and Ron reject racist and discriminatory ideas about pure-blood wizards and stand for the rights of Muggle-born witches and wizards, or Muggles as a whole, but also for the equality of other magical creatures, like elves, goblins, centaurs, and werewolves.
On that mission?
Yeah. It's, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. The rod that Voldemort represents, therefore, is not a threat from outside, but one within the society itself. Slytherin House, unlike characters in the other houses, never speaks out against these discriminations against wizards, witches, and magical beings. Instead, Slytherin is a house that openly discriminates against students, only allowing in those who are pure blood and half blood. Therefore, I urge the house to vote that they would not validate Slytherin, as Slytherin represents the very worst in wizarding society. Thank you.
Thank you for opening the side for the opposition, and can we have another round of applause for your maiden speech? For the proposition, I'd like to welcome Mr. James Beckett.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am previous alumni of Slytherin House, and I currently work for the Ministry. And I can tell you that such speeches that we have just heard from the opposition are a clear sign of Muggle influence. The idea that we live in some sort of fictional society is laughable. And these are serious issues that affect every day of our lives, which is something I'd expect a Ravenclaw to understand. But it is best to be in Slytherin House. It is best to be the best. Now, tonight I'm going to talk to you about history, about not just what Slytherin is, but who we as a community are. And I want you to remember that it's important that we consider that purity is security.
Now, within our society, I hold in my hand my wand. This is an antique metal and crystal wand with a wooden core. Why is it that such objects are not created anymore? I asked you. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Objects like the time turners, like the veil within the Ministry of Defence, within the Ministry of Magic. It's all defence, really. We don't know how to make these objects anymore. I can tell you from my own unspeakable experiences that we just simply are not the community we were in the days of Salazar, Slytherin, or Merlin. And these are terrible losses to Wizarding Society. If we do not drive ourselves forward, where will we be in 200 years' time, I ask you? We'll be unable to use even the simplest of spells. And who do we look to as great wizards who have conducted great acts?
On that point.
Go on.
So basically, all of that you're saying is like you're claiming for a revolution for all of this to change. Like you want Slytherin to be, would you rather be Slytherin because of all the because of all the rejections, all the black mad bloods and like half bloods and all of that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I enjoy my status as a previous Slytherin, not because I want a revolution, but because I embrace who we are. That is what's important. And honestly, does anyone really want to be one of the Weasleys? Honestly, living in a little hut?
On that point,
of course not. Yes.
you've just disgraced our president.
I think he's done that himself, Okay. Sorry. You're not wrong. Wizarding Society is about progress, it is about the future, and it is about education. What is the case in the state of education within Hogwarts? It is the state where we have not been able to have a defence against a dark arts teacher for more than a year. Tom Riddle. No way. Since Tom Riddle requested the position, I, as a member of the ministry, am well versed in Muggle politics, and an interesting example of mutuality exists. Hitler. Hitler, a man I am well informed was a huge impact upon wished to be an artist, but was rejected. Tom Riddle asked to be head of defence against dark arts. Was rejected purely by Dumbledore's biased action that has thrown our communities into chaos. And what's of the Dark Lord, as he would be known? Not Dark Lord. That is unfair. For he is a revolutionary. He thought of all of our futures with his actions. After all, what is the first teacher we see him take away from Hogwarts? The Muggle Studies teacher. What is the point of Muggle Studies? We have no need of Muggles other than the source of entertainment.
On that point,
Go on.
there are particular Muggle inventions which you might find particular use for, such as Wi-Fi, as both yourself, Mr. Sullivan, and I will assume Mr. Nairn seem to have created the wizarding version of 4chan.
I think you'll find 4chan is a wizarding plot already. Thank you to upset Muggle society. No, the fact is that I and the ministry care about the futures of our society, and I know every person here does as well. After all, there are only 3 houses at Hogwarts, and they absolutely must continue to allow the education and proclamation of power that is the Wizarding Society. If you are a Ravenclaw, if you are a Gryffindor, if you are a Slytherin, you must be proud, but we must recognise that... What are you wearing? We don't do drugs here. Truly different case. We as a community, as we march forward.
On that point?
No. The Slytherin has our best interest at heart. And each of our renowned leaders throughout history. I mean, Merlin is even known to the Muggle world, and he was a Slytherin, because he learned those traits that we hold dear. He learned to be cunning, to be artful, to be determined that our future should be something great. When I look at an object like the Philosopher's Stone, obviously from a distance, I look at something that allows us to see the future with our own eyes. But these arts will be lost to us, as our bloodlines will be lost to us. Because we are unable to accept in the modern age that sometimes there is something important about purity. It's our security and our futures that we are fighting for. And tonight I ask you to not just want to be in Slytherin, but to join with Slytherin in the future that we don't just all want, but we as the wizarding community deserve.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that speech. I'd now like to welcome Ms. Tara Connolly to continue for the opposition.
Oh, no. Okay, so I'm not going to talk from the perspective of a member of the Minister for Magic or a muggle. I'm going to talk as what I actually am, which is a student. And I'm going to talk as a prospective student of this fictional school, this school that isn't actually real. So I'll give I'll give a bit of context to this wonderful establishment, Hogwarts. It was founded around the 9th or 10th century. I'm sorry that rather vague phrasing, but as I said, it's a fake school, so there is no actual date of the founding. So Salazar Slytherin was one of 4 founders of Hogwarts, including Godric Gryffindor, Albus Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and then him. So they had this wonderful vision of an all-inclusive school until Slytherin came along and created what I only assume the entry requirements for Oxford PPE, which is you have to be Parseltongue, be cunning, ambitious, and pureblood, so yes, essentially Oxbridge. So right off the bat, as a girl from the Falls Road, not really dying to be going into Slytherin. Secondly, I don't know how you would feel in terms of health and safety, but if you were in a school, in a dungeon, with a big heckin' snake.
You see, I know Slytherin are in the dungeons, but when you throw the kind of party Slytherin does, you need that dungeon.
I'll address it quite frankly, Megan Connery. I don't know how it rests easy with people having your big man, the basilisk, just going through your pipes with a big heckin' fang. And like, I'm not saying I'm a wuss, but I just don't know. Like, I'm scared of spiders as well, in cars. But I'm just not really fussed on having this thing in and around my bed. Because you know it can get in and out. Now it's getting in and out of the pipes, you can ride on walls and stuff. It's not really feeling it all that much.
On that point, the basilisk is dead.
But I'm just... It's magic! It's
On that point,
yes, also, as I said earlier on, being from the Falls, not fussed on the backdrop of hating on the Mudbloods, really not feeling it that much. Plus, even the whole backdrop of the basilisk killing Mudbloods, even at that, it killed wee Mrs. Norris. Well, then, the pedophile wee Mrs. Norris. I can't say a house that promotes animal cruelty, I'm not really feeling being a part of it. Yes.
It's hardly animal cruelty, it's the circle of life. Snake eats cat.
Moving on. Then we're going to get to, the values and the wee icons of Slytherin, such as our wonderful house ghost, the Bloody Baron. Has anyone here? No. Yeah, thank you. The Bloody Baron, much like Nearly Headless Nick, is the wee mascot of Slytherin. However, people often don't know, and they should actually read books. The Bloody Baron has his name because he was in love with Rowena Ravenclaw's daughter, Helena, and when she refused his advances, he proceeded to stab her to death, and hence being drowned in her blood and is called the Bloody Baron. Yes.
Isn't actually being a good go-getter really with the things that you want in life?
Before we address that, quite frankly, a disturbing point. Not, again, don't think I'm being that much of an outside-the-box thinker. Not fussing having a man, spectral figure, doused in the blood of the woman he murdered as my wee friendly mascot. Go on, Baron, you legend. Then... before you even get into the frankly terrible career decisions of anyone that ever came out of Slytherin, all but one, I know earlier on Maria mentioned that Quirrell was a Ravenclaw, but then again he had a problem with growing out of his head, so I think his thoughts were inhibited. Only one villain in the whole of the saga of Harry Potter was anything other than Slytherin, which was Wormtail, and he's rotten anyway. So, I'm not really feeling, considering how hard it is already to get a job when you leave university or school, I'm not really feeling being part of the house that has the terrible track record of becoming Death Eaters and thugs.
On that point.
Yes. Shay.
In fairness, you can't really blame the kids for being in Slytherin because they are, of course, damned to that existence by a magical talking hat.
Or their horrendous parents. Think of Draco Malfoy and Lucius, and his mother who has the very narcissistic. Very standard chance anyway. Then earlier on I mentioned about the common room. Now, we all complain about the issue, I think that's established in here. Does anyone actually, I know you're saying about the parties, anyone actually want to be in that minging dungeon? Hold on, no, let me finish. If you're a Hufflepuff, which I am going to recommend not going to leave out this time, you're beside the wee kitchens with the elf and it's dead cute. If you're a Ravenclaw, you're up in the tower and it's all lovely and high up in its class. If you're a Gryffindor, you got the big fire and then Dawn French at the front door welcoming you every time you come in. I'm not really fussed on being in that place with the dingy light and kind of the colour of Russell's shirt. I would want somewhere more wholesome and comfortable. And finally, I don't think the whole idea of being kind and resourceful sort of stretches in Slytherin, saying you have the two imbeciles of Crab and Goyle, who incidentally transferring this into the real world. The only member of cast, the only original member of cast that was ever booted out of the franchise was your man that played Goyle for his somewhat, we mentioned drugs earlier on in here, his endeavours outside of the Potter films. Both inside and outside of the Potter universe, they're all a shower scumbags. That's me, pretty much sorted. Just would not want to be in that wee house, thank you very much.
Thank you for that speech. Can we get another round of applause for her maiden speech as well? Okay, and I'd like to welcome Mr. Russell Nairn to close the competition.
Unfortunately, as has been said already today, I am not Russell Nairn, I am Mr. Gregory Windthistle. Muggles and mudbloods, it is I, Gregory Windthistle, esteemed Slytherin extraordinaire. Tonight I stand before you all to explain in no few words why you would much rather Slytherin to Slytherin. The reasons for our inherent superiority are simple. We are rich. We have the greatest sense of community and we consistently outperform other Hogwarts houses. I come from a long line of very wealthy Windthistles, all of whom have been Slytherin. The story is similar for the vast majority of my house peers. Within my year alone, you can find many proud Slytherin from many prestigious families, such as Mordecai von Morkenthal, Bartholomew Buggerbother, and John MacDonald. The wealthy, the famous, and the ambitious. And all these great resources can help us do great things. With enough galleons, we can do anything. All of our Quidditch players get complimentary Nimbus 2001s to assist in their sporting efforts. We saw that nobody was using the Chamber of Secrets anymore, so we had it renovated and turned into a hot tub. We're even in the process of negotiating a deal to buy the Forbidden Forest for 25 million galleons and have it turned into the world's largest dueling arena. Hell, I was getting really sick of my defense against the dark arts class, so I had Daddy write a letter to the ministry and had to replace it with the much more fun dark arts class. The best defense is a good offense, I always say. However, it's true. Not all Slytherin are as fabulously wealthy as me. But that doesn't matter, because we look after our own. Once you join, you aren't just a Slytherer for your school days. You're in our crew for life. The reason we can do this is that we have quite possibly the best alumni program of any house. We have cool flying skills. We all get matching tattoos. And we have an amazing dental program value of that boy. The sense of community within the Death Eaters is quite possibly the best of any.
On that point, sir, are you at any point required to bugger a pig?
We don't know. Now, I know that we as a house quite often face accusations of being elitist and classist, and I mean we are, but it's for a good reason. When you have a club as special as ours, it becomes just as important to think about who we don't let in, as much as it is to think about who we do.
On that point,
Go, madam.
okay. If I told you I was Slytherin now, what would you say to me?
I will call you a blood traitor for being If we wanted to hang out with the riffraff, we could go and play tiddlywinks in the park. No, thank you. We're elitist only because we only want the elite. And I'm sorry if you are annoyed, but you aren't good enough to get in. When you compare it to the other houses, Slytherin always comes out on top. We nearly always win the House Cup, except for that one year where Dumbledore cheated and gave it to the Gryffindors. Because Scarface, Weasel Boy, and the Mudblood beat a game of magical chess in a fight.
On that point.
Some people act like we're bad just because we spend so much time in the dungeon. As I've already said, that's the best place to have your parties. We have the best Quidditch team, the best post-graduation success rate, as our ministry credibly will illustrate. Let's compare Slytherin to all of the other houses in Hogwarts, shall we? Ravenclaw. Those guys are all right. They have a place in the new world. We'll allow them to stay. Just as long as they keep to themselves, of course, and don't bother us. Now, Gryffindor. More like Griffin dorks. Why would you want to hang around with those goody two-shoe, do-gooder losers? If it weren't for their obsession with morality and human rights, we would have gotten rid of the Mudbloods years ago. They like to run around masturbating over each other's bravery, but they don't take the time to live a little bit. The sad part is that they could be cool too if they would only embrace the superiority of pure-blooded wizards. Now, is there any house in Hogwarts that I... Go ahead.
We've heard some terrible mumblings about a fourth house. Clarified first. Hufflepuff or something.
I'm sorry, I'm not aware of what that is. Mr. McDonald, you know yourself, as far as I'm concerned, there are 4 possible things you can get selected in the sorting hat. You can be told you're a Slytherin, a Gryffindor, a Ravenclaw, or to go home on the train. Slytherin outperforms all other houses in every respect.
On that point.
No, thank you, sir. Now, a lot of bad talk has been directed towards Voldemort today. And I'll admit, Voldemort did some bad things, right? But you know what I like about Tom Riddle? He's an outsider. He isn't concerned about bowing down to the establishment. Go ahead, sir.
If I remember correctly, I think he was a half-blood.
My good man. You see, he doesn't count. He's one of us, he's fine. No, he's cool. He did the thing with Kate. As a political outsider, there's a lot to be learned from Tom Riddle. I don't necessarily like him, but I prefer him to the other options. As I've explained to you all here today, Slytherin's wealth, community, and superiority make it the best house within Hogwarts, and one which you should all desire to be in. And I know for a fact that some of you don't like Slytherin. You act like we're the bad guys, the evil overlords, the boogeymen. But I'll tell you what the truth is. I think you hate us because you ain't us. And whenever I see this stupidity from the Mudblood sympathizers, I'm reminded of a very simple fact. That the haters are going to hate. But I'm a motherfucking snake.
First of all, I'm sorry for getting your name wrong, Mr. Windistle. That aside, I am actually going to have to fine you 1 bottle of port for swearing and for pulling a Taylor Swift.
That was our watch.
I know.
Oh my.
I would now like to welcome Ms. Emeritus to pose for the opposition and to close the debate.
First of all, I would like to share a story with you guys. It's a very sad story because like the Slytherin tried to make it funny, but it's not. I'm going to tell you a very, very sad story, so prepare your tissues, okay? I've always thought that I was a Ravenclaw all my life, all the quizzes, BuzzFeed, Urban Dictionary, whatever, you will imagine, like whatever. And I was always sorted into Ravenclaw until I went to Voldemort and I was sorted into Slytherin. Then my life changed because I didn't do the test only one time. I did it 3 times actually. 3 times because I couldn't believe that I was actually a snake. I was all my life a beautiful bird. I was all my life a Ravenclaw, and then all of a sudden I was all of like this, whatever they are. So first of all, I would like to separate how this part of the house has been having sailed a lot of. I would like to say a storyboard, but I'm not going to say no way to. So, Mr. Sullivan, well, first of all, Salton Slytherin was a visionary. Yeah, and then you're like, Mr. Beckett, Mr. Beckett, like, actually converted Hitler to Tom Riddle. And
What
you're
information!
at least Mr. Beckett did a comparison that we all had in your minds. Thank you for that, Mr. Beckett. So, as a non-proud Slytherin, and I would say that even if you guys believe that you're a community, I will be 100% Ravenclaw all my life, even if I was sorted 3 times in the bottom. Well, you, okay. One more.
If you want to go back to Ravenclaw, my dear, you're more than welcome.
Oh my, okay. Now we're going, okay, well, I was going to keep like my schedule, but I'm going to move, okay? And then I will throw my things at your friend. So all of these jokes about Slytherin, do you want to Slytherin into my dad? Do you want to Slytherin into my what? Do you want to be a Ravenclaw? You can always move on. Look, I'm just so tired about Slytherin to Slytherin, about I want to Slytherin into your Gryffindor. I want to Slytherin into your Ravenclaw tower. What the hell is that? I'm sorry guys, you're definitely disgusting. And then I was just like talking about a point of information and then asked you like, if I told you that I was a Slytherin, what would you tell me? You told me blood traitor. I'm not a blood traitor. I'm 100% pure blood. On to your point.
If you're Slytherin, why the hell are you wearing red tonight? House colours, madam.
You know why? Because I am a Slytherin, but it's not a problem. So I'll wear Gryffindor's clothes because, like, you know, we don't get along. So, anyway. Moving forward, I would just want to, like, keep alive all the arguments that this part of the house has to throw up. I mean, all the other houses can be as naughty as Slytherin if you want to. Actually, look at me. You know it. I mean, it's like, no, prejudice and discrimination, hierarchy and blood status. You call me a blood traitor. That doesn't go with us. We are naughty, we're ambitious, we're clever. We can be all whatever you want, but I am not proud to be a Slytherin. I wouldn't rather be a Slytherin. I would rather be in Ravenclaw, for example, even in Hufflepuff, please. Even in Hufflepuff, because, like, poor that girl. You call her a Potterhead. Who would say that she was taking drugs because she was a Hufflepuff? You're wrong. You're just throwing gobshite to everyone.
I'm terribly sorry. What's a Hufflepuff?
I'm terribly sorry. Who asked you to talk? I didn't. Huh?
Thank you, and you might like this. So, you've been implicit since the start of your speech that you're a true blood Slytherin. However, I have it under good authority, your own, that on Facebook your DNA results show you aren't in fact of pure blood of any sort. And so I'd like to challenge this claim.
Whatever, I'm 66% Italian, I'm Slytherin. But that doesn't mean that I'm proud of being one. That's why I'd rather be Ravenclaw, because I'm smart. See you later. No, I won't see you later. So the thing okay, the debate, okay? So, here, Mr. Sullivan, goblins, and conspiracy. Honey Slytherin were cunning and ambitious, but not paranoid, you know, like, you're missing your lacerated Slytherin, yeah, your point, and then you're with the last one, so be quick.
Your explanation was that he spoke of goblins, and conspiracy.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting that the goblins are in fact planning to...
Oh, for God's sake, no! Oh, for God's sake. I called him a paranoid as I'm going, you are paranoid as well, I'm so sorry, but I have a very strong argument about it. So, your arguments were all focused on, like, as a community, we have to embrace who we are. And then you talk about Hidden Tom Riddle, so, like, I'm going to move on. Tara was our last speaker, yeah, sorry. so far. Tara was our last speaker, and she talked about the bloody violence at the I'm sorry, translation in Spain is not really good. And Baron Sanguinarius out of Slytherin. So he told us how the history and how the life of Slytherin student is based in basically being, and I'm sorry, I will buy a board at Goshide. So yeah, best Quidditch team, best job, matching tattoos, whatever you guys want to, like, to be cool, you're actually not. And even if I was sorted in Slytherin, I would have a really great club. The house is up. Not the house up, it's up, yeah.
That was not creepy at all. I'm really hoping that wasn't directed at me, but okay. And so thank you for all your speeches. They were all interesting. I would now like to move the motion to the floor. So we're going to do 2 rounds of questions, just because, yeah. Okay, so any questions for the motion? You're all for the motion? For the motion? Yeah, for the proposition. Let's go with you, because you've got a lot of flack there.
Can I start with the quote? Or read it, sorry. Order of the Phoenix, Chapter 11, the Starting Matt's new song. Said Slytherin, we'll teach just those whose ancestry is purest. Said Ravenclaw, we'll teach just those whose knowledge is the surest. Said Ravenclaw, we'll teach just those with brave deeds to their name. Said Hufflepuff, we'll teach the lot and treat them just the same. As a society, you don't need to come from a long line of debaters. You don't need to be descended from Vulcan. You don't have to have the knowledge of politics, of history, to be a member. You don't have to come here and give your maiden speech at your second meeting. We are an inclusive society, and therefore, would this house not be in Hufflepuff?
Who the hell are you? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, the pure fact is that if the soul of your argument is we should trust our facts, I'm not entirely sure. Well, are you lying? We can you help. I mean, I really want to understand you. I don't know what to do. Like, I will concede this. I will concede this. If there are any Ravenclaws in the room, you're academically brilliant. Please explain what the hell is going on.
Alright, there's a lot of irony there. Like a lot. Like a lot. You're talking about magic in a universe that doesn't actually exist. And you're saying you'll get her help. You three stay after class. We're going to have a little bit of talk. Be okay, guys.
Thank you for the will. Pop and blow the houses down.
With the oxygen like your song?
Right, we're talking about the Slytherin tonight. I have tried to defend her on earlier on.
Me too,
They're all just terribly nice, aren't they? And I don't know if I would be personally speaking, feel very comfortable being in a place where you're all terribly awful to each other. It just wouldn't be very me. But then again, you know, for the sake of society, it would be quite nice. I would just don't think everybody in here honest to God, it has anything to be as nice to have.
Okay, questions for the opposition? In the back.
You clearly made about the proposition that part of this entire issue is based on a goblin conspiracy. You just out of hand dismiss this without clearly explaining to us how you can prove you are not being controlled by goblins.
Can you prove we are? You can prove that we actually are, so.
Schrodinger's goblin.
Rips off piece of shit.
Proposition, would you like to respond?
Right, listen.
Lazarus, it's gone too far.
We all know that the Imperious curse can make you do things, and you think that it's your own idea, but it's not. It's actually the goblins. What they're doing is, you know what a wand you can cast spells with? Well, it's the broomsticks. And they're casting an Imperious spell all over the world. And what it's actually doing is it's convincing people to breed with muggles. That's why goblins are evil. I think that's enough proof. I think that we've proven that it's the goblin. It's a goblin.
Okay. Not sure how that was a response. I'm not sure who the opposition, but yeah, that's nice there. Okay, so can we go to a question abstaining from the motion to just a general one on both sides?
Yeah. Seeing as it's International Women's Day, I just want to kind of find out, does it indicate anything at all that everyone speaking for Slytherin is male and everyone speaking against Slytherin is female?
Okay, Proposition, would you like to respond first?
These Muggle holidays invading our region society. No, I mean, yes, I'll admit that we are very male-centric here, but you've got to remember, Salazar Slytherin was a man. And as was Gryffindor's son. And when we look at Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff, they are females. And maybe there is some sexism in the wizarding world. I will happily accept that as a possibility as a member of the Ministry of Magic, who is thinking about your best interest in the future. It's perhaps something that we could investigate through a long council session over a period of time. But I will say this, and it's important to note, that there are 6 people on this table, perhaps women versus men, but also women versus men helping you come to future conclusions for our great wizarding society. And I find you the sexist, sir. You would not recognise how important it is for us all to maybe drink a little bit of Polyjuice potion and take on the roles of each other.
Opposition? Would you like to respond?
Okay, I have a very quick answer. Like, look, well, as I said, with Slytherin, you have a lot of things, you know, like Slytherin in your Gryffindor or whatever. So yeah, it's probably, that's why, like, they're just to make puns, you know, and have fun, have the crack, whatever, but we're most serious, as we said, because we're not only focusing on pure blood or something that they just want to talk about, we're just focusing into so many different issues that it's definitely all about here and not about whatever snakes you guys have.
You look like you were regretting everything.
Yep. Questions for the proposition? Yes.
Madam Chair, I'm a bit concerned about some of the rhetoric used by the proposition. No. Because what we're talking about here is we're talking about 4 houses in a school, but I found that their rhetoric. Pardon? Sorry. I'm going to defend the 4th house. I'm not in the 4th house, I'm a Ravenclaw, because I'm, clever. I think we're all forgetting history, because it is precisely this sort of rhetoric that led to the ascension of Lord Voldemort, the half-blood, as I will claim, because they think think they're pure. They're not as pure as they think. There are people that aren't pure blood left into Slytherin, and even, I know they're bullied a lot with some muggle balls as well. So, I'm thinking, why are you making Slytherin out to be just genocidal maniacs? Because your rhetoric has been identical to that of, or dare I say it, even though you wasn't a Slytherin, the Dark Lord Grindelwald, who was indeed in part, I presume, defeated by a Hufflepuff named Newt Scamander. He was worse than Hitler. He actually was, because he was during World War II. You need to brush on history.
Proposition?
How much do you want?
Yeah, not really. Go ahead.
First off, you will not survive the New World. Second, really want to Hufflepuff. And third, the scenario we see here is this villainization of Lord Voldemort once again. And I'm just saying, what we see nowadays in our wizarding world is stagnation. The establishment needs a shake-up every now and again. And if that has to come in the form of a populist insurrection on behalf of a supposed Dark Lord, so be it. It's fine by me. I'm going to survive.
I think there are no words to describe what we just heard. But yeah, the rhetoric they used was disturbing on many levels, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say there are a few words that would describe it.
I know you're fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so question for the opposition.
Yes, you said that you'd taken the Pottermore test 3 times, hoping to get a different house. Would going to such lengths to get the house that you want not be an extra trait of being like the cunning tactics of a Slytherin?
To be honest, I'm a proud Slytherin, that's why you wouldn't be a Slytherin. You would rather not be a Slytherin, because I was here and I was undercover, so no, it's not good. It's not good. Trust me, it's not good being a Slytherin. I just did the whole So, okay, yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, maybe. I don't think the showing from her has been very good this evening for the house. And while she is intelligent, ambitious, she's just not very pure, really, is she? And I mean, I think it is best if we take into account what we learnt from the terrible saga of Harry Potter, that you can ask to get another house, and how it takes that into consideration. I advise you do it.
You know what's funny is I can actually say good sleep. Yeah.
Am I going to get fined?
I don't think I have that power. It's not your class.
What about Ginger? Come on.
Frankly, at this point, I'm terrified of just saying anything. My smart stops at this point, really.
I agree. Please don't talk. And for our last question, because, time, and just a point of stating. Ooh. Okay. Go ahead.
I've been disgusted tonight by the partisan-like manner which the opposition and proposition have put themselves at. No idea of conciliation on either side. And I want to address the Goblin conspiracy. Suggest a solution. I do believe there is a shake-up needed in the wizarding establishment. And as Phileas Flitwick shows us, humans and goblins can interbreed. So I believe we should form some sort of hobgoblin, which can unite goblin and wizarding world together. We have wizard warm lore and goblin steel combined, so that we can finally take out the Muggle menace once and for all, and ascend to the glory of the wizarding race. That's it.
Daily Prophet fake news from your big.
Wrong.
Yeah.
That's actually
It's called
yeah,
favoritism.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
That is without a doubt the single most disgusting thing I've heard today. Have a long think about your life.
Okay, so that is the end of the questions. You'll all be glad to hear. Now for my closing remarks, which, you know, it's a lot. This was a lot. And I feel kind of responsible, but also I feel like I just want to not be associated with this narrative. That's one for you guys. Throwing you a bone. I really appreciate it. Okay. I don't even know how to summarize your sides. You know the phrase, ships passing in the night? This wasn't even that. Because you were both talking from completely different worlds. And I don't know what to do with that. Because y'all think that Harry Potter's real. And like, understand? I do. I love the universe. But like, what? And then y'all were like, no. No, what are you doing? So, yeah, a lot of interesting views from the proposition side. Not sure how much you are making Slytherin look good. Some might say you make Slytherin look absolutely terrible. And, yeah, don't know if there's much more to say on that one.
Snake is off, baby.
Again with the puns.
Yeah, you know what you reminded me of? You reminded me of every guy that's ever said they've been friend zoned. Of course it is to you, because you should just stab the woman instead. Silly woman brain up here thinking that's not a normal response. We gotta keep the sass bells down. We gotta keep them down. And I totally understand where you guys are coming from. Trying to, you know, logically say, like, Slytherin's not all that great. Everything we can do much better. Also not, you know, mess up as often. But in terms of a debate, it was a bit confusing. Because,
impassioned.
I don't know if debate is even the right word for what I witnessed, as much as just, I'm uncomfortable. And sincerely hope that it was all just a joke.
But those are genuine views.
I believe that. But I've got to have a little bit of hope for humanity and the wizarding world that you all live in. Don't even know where I want to go with this. This is a lot. But yeah, in terms of this compared to the old debate that I was a part of, and you know.
I don't remember.
No, but even then, in my drunken state, I didn't manage to offend nearly all of the people that you have. And did manage to respond to the points from the other side, even though they were completely ridiculous. Because that's me, for different comparisons. Unfortunately, we have to actually, once that first prop starts speaking, you gotta continue down that road. Which, you know, may be a problem with debate. But regardless, I do think more alcohol should have been consumed tonight. Not you. Not you. But everyone else. Just to keep classic. But I thought it was pretty cool to have this debate, you know, it was really nice to have something from the past, bit of memory lane for me, or not so much memory lane. And it was nice to see y'all. And also, I'd just like to say thank you for my pin. Totally cool. That was something that I tried to make happen back when I was secretary, and we just could not find the proper person to make them.
It's really hard.
It is really hard. I'm very I know it seems like I'm sarcastic, but I'm really impressed.
That's why everyone should buy one.
Everyone should buy one. It's very, very cool. And I just realized how lame that sounded. But I have been president of the society, so I think that says a lot about me. No offense.
I mean, you're quite right. I mean, nothing's changed in that regard.
It's a certain type of person. Anyway.
Are you about to move to the vote? Or
Am I not?
No, just if everybody can shuffle for the membership cards now, just to remind people, the AGM is 5 days away this Tuesday. Please come along if you're a member. Also, if you have your cards and any money with you tonight, please do get them to either myself or Mr. McDonald. And any candidates who have not yet submitted their manifesto to me, please do so post this. Oh yeah, there are 1 or 2 spaces still available for the Speaker of the Year debate. I would urge anyone to put their name in the ring for that, have the ring, name in the bag, whatever, as you really don't need to be worried about trying to find the time to write a speech for it, as you don't get the motion until 15 minutes beforehand. So just try your luck and see how it goes. Otherwise, pins are £4, and I don't think there's anything else that I will do right now. So make sure you take your copy of the card with you. Otherwise,
Yeah, hi. Okay. I really like how not having to prepare a speech is a selling point for the Duffin. Yes. Like, really, some things never change, guys. You can come back here in like 30 years and it's going to be the exact same, and you'll be having this trippy thing as well. Because I mean, it's been like 2 years for me, but it's basically 30.
also you theoretically get a medal. Theoretically is the key word there.
Yeah, it's not like, see, the medal was lost, and then we got a new one, and then we lost it again. But this was like 50 years ago.
It was immediately after we got the first one, it went missing within like a week.
Yeah, and the second one immediately went missing. So now you get like a letter, which is almost as good.
And a firm handshake. Let's get through, come on.
I mean, if that's what you're into. Sure. Then you provided that kind of service. Regardless, moving on to the vote. Now, you all have your membership cards? Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Why?
We'll know. So.
Okay, but you really should bring your membership cards.
I need them on Tuesday, so.
Now, you are judging solely on speaker's ability, so I know it's hard. I know it's very, very hard. You gotta put all those personal feelings aside, guys. I know. But you gotta be objective. Who spoke better? Who is the master debaters?
I see how you Slytherin that pun.
I see how you reuse that one. Regardless, so everyone with a membership card who also thought that the proposition spoke better tonight, please raise your hands.
Say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Truly a Slytherin. Okay, and everybody who thought the opposition spoke better today, please raise your hands and say no.
No.
Actually, no. I complicated that. Slytherin.
Okay, and depending on which house you actually are in, your opinion on this will also change. If you're a Hufflepuff and you think everybody spoke really, really good, and like everybody is just a winner, and if you're in any other house and you thought, you know, that you both crap, please abstain from the motion and just half raise your hand. Just half.
Yeah. Good. Mouse, guess where would you get?
7.
I got 7.
I really like how we're all bad at counting.
It's nice having 3 people, because then we just go with
Okay, so I believe if my calculations are right, the opposition wins tonight.
Well, guess what was 3 back the vote count, because that's
I didn't even write it down.
there we go. So ask
It was like 9, 13, 7.
Mr. Secretary, would you please read back the vote?
That was 9 votes for the proposition, 13 to the opposition, 7 steps.
So the opposition has it. The opposition has it. like our Pouryahya Honorary Elect Member for her service here this evening. Can we please give her a big round of applause? I remind the House that we shall be adjourning to the woodworkers. Please do come along. I believe the committee at the gang will be there partying it up, so that'll be fun. The time is 9:30. Madam Secretary, would you like to adjourn the meeting?